YouTube, what is going on? It is your boy Sports Culture, and I am back with another video here today. And this is officially going to be my first mock draft for the Green Bay Packers for the 2025 NFL Draft class. It's going to be a 3-round mock draft, no trade, so it should be a fast and simple mock draft. And if you're interested in more videos like this, draft intel videos for the Packers, please go look at my YouTube channel. I made 3 videos already like this: 5 realistic edge rush prospects for the Packers, 5 realistic cornerback prospects for the Packers, and 5 realistic wide receiver prospects for the Packers in this year's draft class. So if you are interested in those videos, I will leave the link somewhere on your screen right here or in the description, or you can simply go look at my YouTube channel. And I feel like this is a very deep class, in particular at the cornerback and edge position, and there's no surprise, at least in my opinion, those are the 2 positions the Packers need to target the most this offseason, whether that's free agency or the draft. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So here we are, pick 23, the first pick for the Packers in this year's draft class. And like I said, I think this is a very deep, edgy cornerback class in this year's draft class. So when we go look at the cornerback position right now and the players on the board still, you got guys like Jahdae Barron, who is my personal pick for the Packers at the cornerback position in this year's draft class. We didn't expect with Jeff Hafley to play this much zone coverage this year. Maybe because Jair was out, we didn't play as much man coverage. But we played a lot of zone coverage this year. And Jahdae Barron is phenomenal in zone coverage. Very, very instinctive. Has some of the best ball skills in this year's draft class. Very physical. Has that dog personality. Plays with a ton of energy. And he would be a phenomenal pick for this Packers team. Has that Jair Alexander, energy and build as well. So he could possibly be, the next Jair Alexander for this team. Who knows? You got Troy Amos, who I think has the second best ball skills at the cornerback position in this year's draft class. Dude is very good in zone press, very instinctive. I like his game a lot. You got Shavon Reveal, who I think is just Richard Sherman 2.0, but more athletic. Is coming off the torn ACL, so we are going to have to see, how he tests and how he looks after the torn ACL. If he's still as, athletic and explosive as he was at the collegiate level before that injury. You got guys like Azarai Thomas in the later rounds, who's one of my favorite prospects overall in this year's draft class. The dude is very, very good. He's a dog. I think he's the best press man cornerback in this year's draft class. And he's only going to get better. He's only been playing the position for a couple years now. Was a receiver, switched to cornerback. He has the ball skills. Very, very athletic. I think his tackling is a little bit concerning at times, but he's only going to get better at tackling come, more experience. But with this pick, I am going to go edge. I just feel like edge is less deeper than the cornerback position. I feel like I could get a guy like Azarai Thomas at pick 87 or pick 55 and be okay. I feel like Azarai Thomas could be a cornerback 1 in the NFL. So with this pick, I am going to go with the edge position because I feel like there's a big drop-off after the 6 to 7, top edge rushers in this year's draft class. There's guys like Shamar Stewart, 6'6", 290 pounds, very athletic. A lot of potential in terms of pass rushing. Wasn't the most productive at the collegiate level, only 2 sacks every year. But when you watch the film, the guy gets a lot of pressures, and his explosiveness and athleticism off the line is on showcase when you watch film. Nick Scorton is on the board, who I think is the best run support DN in this year's draft class. Dude is just very, very technically sound, very patient at holding the edge, very disciplined at holding the edge. Uses his eyes very well to diagnose where the football's going. And I know people look at his sacks this year and like, oh, only 4 sacks compared to 8 the previous year. Very, very disappointing. But keep in mind, he was at Purdue in 2023. Different defensive scheme. Goes to Texas A&M. And I feel like they were asking him more this year to hold the edge, not really get after the quarterback, just be more disciplined at holding the edge. And he did a phenomenal job at doing so. I like his game a lot. 6'4", 285 pounds, only 20 years old, is going to be 21 in August. So the dude is very, very young. And he kind of reminds me of Jared Verse from last year. I wasn't very high on Jared Verse as some edge rushers last year because I felt like he was necessarily a one-trick pony, only relying on his power. And I kind of feel like that's how Nick Scorton is right now at the collegiate level. Only relies on, his long, violent arms, getting to the punch first, and using his power per se. He does have a little nifty spin move as well, but I think he only relies on his power right now. But I think he could get way better. His arms are very long. He has very violent arms, very fast arms. He gets to the punch very fast for a guy that has kind of a weird build in a sense. If you look him up on like Google or something, he has a weird build in my opinion. But he's very quick off the line. Doesn't always win with his hands, but I think at the next level he's only going to get better as a pass rusher. So with this pick, I am going to go with Nick Scorton. I feel like he's a safer pick than Shamar Stewart. I just like the upside with the guy like Nick Scorton because I know what I'm getting. He's going to be one of the better run support DNs in the NFL, in my opinion. And he's only going to get better in terms of pass rushing, come experience and more playing time. So with this pick, we are going to go Nick Scorton. I think he's the top 5 pass rusher in this year's draft class. I don't know how he's on the board right now. I think this guy gets drafted come draft night within the first 20 picks. So with this pick, we are going Nick Scorton, the big DN from Texas A&M. So here we are, pick 55, the second pick for the Packers in this mock draft. And I was actually going to select Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver out of Iowa State, but he got selected at pick 52 to the Broncos. So with this pick, I am going to go with cornerback or wide receiver. It's between Jalen Royals, Maxwell Harrenstein, or Azariah Thomas. But I think with this pick, I am going to go with Azariah Thomas. I really do feel like I could get Trey Harris at pick 87. Do I think Trey Harris in real life is going to be at pick 87? Hell no. I think this guy's going to get drafted before pick 55, pick 50 easily in real life, especially as the combine comes up and the draft process gets closer. I think this guy's going to only go up in terms of his stock in the draft. So we're going to hope Trey Harris falls to pick 87, but with this pick, we are going to go Azariah Thomas, the big physical cornerback from Florida State. Like I said earlier, I think he's the best press man cornerback in this year's draft class. The dude is very big at 6'2", 198 pounds, only 20 years old. He's very young. Like I said, he's only been playing the position for now a couple years. He was a wide receiver, converted to cornerback, so the ball skills are there. And he's a lockdown cornerback. This year allowed 17 receptions on 33 targets. Quarterbacks simply do not target, his side of the football field because he is locking guys up. I mean, he's a seatbelt right on them. Allowed only 141 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a passer rating of 50.2. He's going to be an outside cornerback. I mean, he's not going to give you versatility inside at all, but you don't need that from a guy like him. He's going to be a press man cornerback on the outside. He's going to lock up a wide receiver one. And I think this is one of those guys that can lock up, those big physical, wide receivers like a DK Metcalf, a Mike Evans, a Puka Nacua, those type of wide receivers. If we look at the trends, he does get drafted 19% by Packers fans that make mocks or just people that make mocks in general. So with this pick, we are going to go Azariah Thomas. I like this guy a lot. I think he has potential to be a top 10 cornerback in the NFL. I think his ceiling is easily a cornerback one for any NFL team. So with this pick, we are getting Azariah Thomas. I think this guy's just a stud. So here we are, pick 87, the last pick in this mock draft. And Trey Harris fell to us right at pick 87. So with this pick, we are going Trey Harris. I think this guy's potential is as high as anybody else in this wide receiver class in this year's draft class. The dude is 6'2", 6'3", 6'3", 210 pounds, 23 years old. Mainly relies on the vertical stem route tree right now, but I think, at the next level, he's only getting better in terms of route running. In only 8 games this year, had 60 receptions, 1,030 yards, 17.2 yards slash receptions, and 7 touchdowns. The dude is very explosive, very good at getting down the field. Maybe not the fastest guy in the world, but he gets to his top speed very, very fast because he's a long strider. And the one thing that you will notice if you just want to go simply look at his YouTube highlights, if you want to, his ability to high point the football and showcase some of the best hands in this year's draft class. I think outside of T-Mac and Jaden Higgins, I think Trey Harris has the best hands in this year's draft class. The dude is just constantly showcasing that on film, and I think he's going to get better as a route runner. I mean, his releases off the line are not too bad. He has some fast, nimble feet for a guy that's maybe kind of stiff in the hips for a wide receiver, but he's only going to get better with more experience. I'd like to see him get better at beating press man, but like I said, with more experience, he will get better. He has some potential with, making guys miss after the catch. Very elusive and agile for a guy his size. But Trey Harris is going to be the pick right here. I think this guy is going to be a bona fide wide receiver one at the next level. Might be a one-trick pony per se right now, just only using the vertical stem route tree right now. But just put the ball in this guy's area and his premises. He's going to box out whoever's guarding him, and he's going to go make a highlight catch. So with this pick, we are going Trey Harris, just to give us some more potential and some more guys in that wide receiver room, especially because Christian Watson's going to be out for at least week 13, week 15 till next year. So with this pick, we are going Trey Harris. So here's what PFF has graded my mock draft for the Packers. They gave me an overall draft grade of a B, which is very solid. For our first pick, they gave me an A- for drafting Nick Scorton at pick 23. I don't know how he's still on the board. I think this guy's the top 5 edge rusher in this year's draft class. I think he's one of the best or the best run defenders at the edge position at this year's draft class. PFF has him at pick 27, at number 27. Got him at pick 23, so that's a very good grade right there, A-. Azariah Thomas, they gave us a D for. I don't agree with that at one bit because I think Azariah Thomas is going to be a stud at the next level. Best press man cornerback in this year's draft class, in my opinion. And the reason they gave us that grade is because they have him on PFF Big Board at 84. We selected him at pick 55. If I was making trades, I would have obviously traded back, got some more draft picks, and then selected Azariah Thomas. But at pick 87, we did pick Trey Harris. They gave us a B+ for that pick. He is on PFF Big Board at 90. Got him at pick 87. That's a phenomenal way to finish this mock draft. I think Trey Harris' ceiling in this year's draft class at the wide receiver position is as high as anybody. Like I said, the dude is 6'3", could jump out of the gym, gets to his top speed very, very fast, has the ability to make guys miss after the catch, and he's only going to get better as a route runner once he gains more experience in the NFL. So overall, we got a B. I'm not mad at this mock draft one bit. I would have liked to seen the Azrai Thomas draft grade to be a little bit higher, but it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about this mock draft in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this and more mock drafts, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be making more of these at least once a week going forward all the way into the NFL draft. So without further ado, man, I'm out.